Hello, this is Nick with IndieGameBundles.com, your #1 spot for information about all indie bundles. In this episode of 10 Indie Minutes, we'll be looking at Offspring Fling by Kyle Pulver. It's a puzzle platformer, and it's got a lot going on for it. It's a deceptively deep game. I didn't quite get what I was getting into until after I played it for a little bit, but it's got over 100 levels. It's got ghost replays, so you can see your previous bests. It's got a level editor, tons of unlockables, beautiful artwork, and a great soundtrack, actually. So we're jumping right into things. First, we're going to take a quick look at the plot, which is very simple. It's kind of a nice storybook presentation. Your protagonist here has its children in the forest, and then this evil dinosaur comes and screams and roars and comes out of the forest, scares everyone away. Your character tries to stand up to it, but the dinosaur kind of smacks you down. And, with you down on the ground, the dinosaur proceeds to steal all of the babies and leave off into the forest, leaving your character very sad and, angry as well. So your mission, find all the babies, bring them to safety, and do it as fast as possible so you can earn gold flowers. So there's a bunch of great little features here. There's the credits. We've got stats to look at. We've got options, set your controls, set your graphics, set your sound levels. You can save your replays for later. And there's the level editor, which actually has its own level hub and stuff, just like in Super Meat World, which is awesome. So this is where we're going to take a quick look at how the gameplay actually works. Like I said, it's very simple to start out, but it adds more and more elements like most puzzle platformers, and by the end it gets very complicated, but in a good way. Controls are nice and simple. Move around, jump with X, and you can pick up babies with down, and you can throw them with C. So the basic goal, like lemmings, bring the babies back to safety, bring them through the little door. So you'll see I got a silver flower on that, or a blue flower, and this time we're going to go back and go for a faster time, so maybe I can get a gold. And if you set the ghost replays to be on, you'll actually see your previous run through there, and you can actually try and one-up yourself to do better, which is always a good thing. And then we can actually stack a couple of babies on top of each other, which actually makes your character taller, so you won't be able to fit through smaller spaces. And I got a gold flower on that one, nice. And this is where it starts to mix things up a little bit. You learn you can throw things, or throw your children. It seems kind of cruel to throw them, but they're nice and soft and fuzzy, so they bounce off the walls without getting hurt, which is nice. And just bring them through all of there, and just throw them right into the door. And everybody's happy, and we're moving on. Beautiful storybook-style artwork. Everything is very well realized. The art has a very warm feel to it, and the music really complements it well. I feel like the whole thing, it's a very nicely put-together package. Very professional, and very nice to look at, and the gameplay works just as well. The background art's very nice as well. There's a nice sense of depth to it. This is where it tries to trick you into throwing one across that gap where you can't reach it again. Not gonna fool me, though. I like the nice little particle physics of they look like dandelion puffs when you walk through them. So far, so good. We're moving along at a nice clip. And like I mentioned before, there's over 100 levels as well as a level editor, so you're going to be at this for quite a while, and the warm-up just to get started and get familiarized is nice and slow, which is a good thing. It actually lets you get a good sense of what you're going to be getting into little by little without throwing you at a too high difficulty curve, which is very important in a game like this. So you'll see, of course, you can't fit through there unless you throw them through, and the button actually stops them. And make sure you have the blue step up so you can try and make that jump. Unfortunately, can't make the jump. Seems like the babies actually weigh you down a little bit. And try again. Nope, still can't do it. Or it may have just been that since they're taller, I just bumped into the ceiling. And then since I'm a genius, I realized, how about I just throw them across there? That works too. And as you collect these silver and gold flowers, you're actually building a garden as well, which you can go and visit, and I will go and visit at the end. And at the start, it looks rather sparse and empty, but after you've gotten through, 80, 100 levels, you'll see the whole thing becomes completely full of flowers, which is kind of cool. So I'll toss them back across there, make the jump up. Oh, again, same problem. Didn't seem to learn from the last level, you gotta toss them across. Like that. There we go. So what's next? We've got some more buttons and blocks. This one looks like it's a little bit trickier. Won't be able to do much with the baby, so I gotta go up on my own and switch that over. And I'm sort of learning as I go here. I'm trying to figure out the path through this correctly. Looks like the next logical step would be to toss him over this gap. And then I can actually go back to the other side. Not sure that's the right thing to do. How about I switch that back? And then I can toss them across this gap over to the little alcove on the right. And now that we've made our way across that, we can open up the blue blocks at the very top. One last gap to cross so we don't accidentally drop back to the start again. And toss them right in the goal. Controls handle just fine. I had no issues with navigating. I mean, if anything, just getting used to how the game plays is the only minor thing, and that takes just a minute or two, and the game's very nice to step you into it without any trouble. So this time we've got to navigate what looks to be a pretty simple corridor until you throw this across, and bam, now there's a block in the way. So how am I going to deal with that? And I can't really throw him over the block, so I'm going to have to figure something out. But we lift him up, throw him in the goal, and that will do it. Now I can throw him back through, and he's going to land on that switch again, but it doesn't matter. And we're on. Okay, now we've added the impediment here at the bottom. There's a toxic sludge pool, which has no place in the forest, I would say. I guess it's like a nasty swamp or something. We don't want to go in there. That wasn't too bad. Okay, we've got a thematic switch here. The music changes nicely, and we've got some different kind of a color palette to look at now. So it looks like we've left the training area, and now there's actually some stuff that can kill you. Which, as a fuzzy forest creature, we want to avoid that. These little guys don't look too tough, so I don't think they'll last very long in a poison swamp. But the mom has definitely got the courage, and she will rescue her babies no matter what. So here we've got a little bit of a logic puzzle here. How do we deal with this? Since we can't throw any of the babies over our head, they can only be thrown at the same level that we're standing at. Well, looking around we see that there is a down C prompt, which I would guess, combining those two things, seems like you're going to be either throwing the baby at the ground or you're going to be dropping it nicely. Hopefully the latter there. And we put you down right there. There we go. So if we'll switch that block right back, it will drop through nicely and we can pick it up right on the other side. Not sure why I needed to throw them there. I could have very easily just brought them in. But whatever. So, many more levels to come. I think that will just about do it for a quick look at how the gameplay works. There's a lot more dynamics to check into as we go. And it looks like I've unlocked a gold flower on the way. And you can see there's a whole bunch more levels, but there's even more than that. And you can see your status and your times, and how many it takes to unlock the next level on each thing. So let's take a quick look at the garden, and you can see some of my overall progress here. Not too much, but by the end we'll fill this whole thing up with lots of pretty gold flowers. and I will definitely look forward to that. So thank you very much for watching another episode of 10 Indie Minutes. This is a quick look at Offspring Fling. Definitely a cool game, definitely recommended. So we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.